Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna, and welcome to a very special day. It is Groundhog Day, and this is a hop by Jackie Malzahn. She is JQ Crafty on YouTube, and each year you're going to see my original layout. This is mine and then last year I scrap lifted myself, and here's my second attempt, and then today will be another scrap lift of myself. And we're all going to take those layouts of our own and then lift them. Once I grab my papers, I'm not always sure what my first thing is going to be, but I went into my iris container of red paper pads, and I knew I needed something with reds and greens, and this is what I came up with, and I love it so much. So this is called Delilah. It is by Color Block, which you can get at Walmart. I somehow ended up with 2 of these paper pads, so I've got plenty of these papers, but I did grab some scraps, but some 12 by 12 papers as well. And then I went ahead and got some cut down. Now these are, I remember from last year, they're 5 by 5 squares, and then they're cut into triangles. I first try to set them up incorrectly and figure out quickly that I got to turn them around. And then it's like the opposite. So the ones up in the right are juxtaposed of the ones down the left, and vice versa. Right upper corner, left lower corner, and then the left upper corner matches with the right lower corner. I will get those glued down first. I like my new mat. This is a Fisker's mat, and you can use the rulers and the measurements on the sides to see, okay, I'm in the middle now. Are these squares where they should be? Squares, rectangles, look at me, rectangles. So I'm just going to put a little ATG down to stabilize them. I don't think I'm going to tuck anything underneath them, but I know I will be putting stuff on top to stick them down well. So just getting a little bit down, and then I will layer their opposite side on top of each of them, if that makes sense. I think it does. And then I will go into my stash. Now, because there's no embellishments that goes with this, so I will just go into my stash and I find some kind of, this is where I do my stash busting. You know, what can I find that will coordinate and pull this all together? I feel like that's the really the creative part of the whole process. So I lightly adhere this down, thinking I might have to lift the photo, and you know what? I do, because I've already forgotten that there should be twine or some kind of thread that goes underneath the photo, but that's okay. I'll figure that out in a moment. So now I'm going to work on my clusters. The piece on the left upper corner says "Hear me roar," which is so appropriate for Eliza. She's got a lot of energy, and she stands up for herself, and she can roar. I did find some flair in my stash. Sometimes I have some that don't really match anything in particular, and so I really like to use those on some layouts when they match. And I was very excited to find a couple of these 3 different ones that worked really well for this layout. I have a couple extra circle stickers that I'll layer, and then if you can see in that I got this at an estate sale, super old, but they're nice little words, and those layer so nice on the flare. So up in the right it's going to say sweet. I find one later, and the left lower it says remember, and then the left upper says smile. These stickers that I am working with right now are from Close to My Heart. Oh gosh, they have to be 18 years old, I don't know. And I just have a bunch of them, and it's got a little bit of red, which there is kind of throughout this collection, a little bit of pink, some blue, and some green, and they just worked for good tucking pieces. And then I've got these circles, and I actually put one of those circles on a flare as well. Then I will grab out my Paper Studio, it's not twine, string? I should look to see what it says. But it's Paper Studio, and it comes in several different colors, and I pick out the pretty pink color. It just says twine. It's twine. Twine to me is a little bit more coarse, but I think it's, yeah, string, but there you go. And so this just lays in between the triangles, and I'll take that photo up to sneak them up underneath. I will use my Barely Art glue to put a line of glue, and that is the perfect way to just adhere this twine down between the triangles. There is a playlist down below for everyone this year playing along with Groundhog's Day, and there are also playlists out there. Hopefully I'll have it down below for last year and then the year before as well. There goes the photo. Oh, I should tell you about the photo. So the photo is of my youngest and my husband. I took my middle daughter. We went on a youth trip, bus trip to Florida. So they got to go out to dinner one night while we were gone. Here is a tag that I had in my stash that it just was a little big. The colors work perfectly. So I did trim those off, and then I saved the top of that tag to go tucked up above that triangle there. So that makes a cluster up in the left corner. And I actually will trim down that tag a little bit further because it's got that a lot of green on the bottom. So I decided just to get rid of that bit of it too. It still has it's still bordered all in the green, which works well because the color of the where the journaling goes is actually so close to the background paper. It needs a little bit of green to make it pop from the background. Oh, I do use, now this is twine. So I'll use the twine. It's that kind of a brown craft color in that tag, as well as the tag, the little green tag that I just clipped off. I do use foam adhesive tape behind my flare, which works well. There was just a little piece of pink on here. I wanted to get rid of that. And then I'm going to work on my clusters. So like I said, I will get some twine into that partial tag there, and I will tuck that behind the pink triangle up there. And then the Hear Me Roar will be a big part of that embellishment cluster up on top. My friend Becky gave me all these little kind of cut apart, so that tag with the flowers on comes from that, and actually the Hear Me Roar comes from that as well. So they've been sitting on my desk for a while, and I just kind of went through them and was happy to see that they fit the colors and the vibe of this page. Next, I will get my circle down. That's that close to my heart one, and then put the flare on top of it. And then I believe I will get the sticker, or maybe wait till the end to get the sticker on top of the flare. So then I go to the right cluster and layer those up. There's a lot going on in some of these clusters because I've got all these round pieces. Here I've got 3 different ones, and I wanted to move that one in further, and that's from the close to my heart as well. So then it rips the paper, which I was planning on making the cluster bigger, so that's okay. So I'll bring in a couple more circles. That's super really busy, and that's the way it stays, and I'm okay with that. There's just a lot going on there, but in little bits of the page, I think that's just fine. Here is the flare, and then it has that little sticker on top of it, and I'll still get the word that says sweet on top of that as well. And then I think, oh, there's another same one of those circles that goes on there. So just checking to see that do I have everything I need on the page? Is there anything I'm missing? And I decide that tag could use a little bit more of something up there. So I take one of these close to my heart tabs and layer it there. And I was thinking, if I had known I was going to cover up so much of that red triangle, I probably would have put that one up on the top, but I think it works out just fine. So get the sticker from close to my heart. There's that word sweet. And then I'm debating, there's an orange one that says smile, and I use it, so it goes right there. Then I'll work on that bottom cluster. I believe this sticker is Paper Studio, and it says Sweet Memories, and it just fits the color and everything so well. There's a little bit of gold on the Hear Me Roar. This is more of a copper color with Sweet Memories. you can use more than one color of metal on your page, and it just gives it that glossy, shiny look to it. Now, to give a true visual triangle, I probably should have put something metallic up in that right upper cluster, which I can still do. That Flare got the word remember. So now I was like, oh, I looked at my sketch or my layout one more time, and I saw I had used Nouveau drops on one of them. So this Nouveau drop is called Red Berry, and it was on my desk, so it matched perfectly. So I'll just get some Nouveau drops on, and that's basically the end of my layout. So thank you so much for watching me until the end, and have a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon.